6 through 7. So, anybody has an idea whether he was fairly tried or not? Anybody? Zero participation. Sticker taken off, so everybody has to participate at least once. Yes, Uyang?
I think Stanley was
Stanley was.
Stanley was
Like not fairly tried?
not very because he didn't have one chance to speak on the court because the law because others thought that he was a criminal and he didn't even have a chance
To like defend himself.
and didn't even have a lawyer to.
Oh yeah, didn't even have a lawyer. So like the judge, he already decided his mind before he publicly announced his decision. He labeled Stanley as a dirty little thief, stealing from the homeless shelter from the poor children. And then he had already formed his conception and notion of what kind of kid Stanley is, and Stanley was really poor, so he didn't afford a lawyer. So he tried to explain in his best words that just like the shoes fell from the sky, but no one believed him, and there was no adult who was like logically speaking for him. So it was an unfair trial. Oh yes. 좋아요. 재훈이, 유미, and then 조아, and then 예성. Okay, 순서대로 할게요. 재원, what did you think about this one?
I think this court wasn't fairly treated because Stanley just looked at the Reddick's shoes falling in the sky, and people thought he seemed to steal it, but he was innocent because looking was not enough for that he was punished and criminal. But the judge didn't understand him, and he was also poor, so he didn't have enough money to buy a lawyer to defend him.
Oh yeah, it's like sometimes inexplicable things happen in life. Something that is like very logical, very hard to explain. So we cannot like accuse somebody. We cannot like send somebody to jail just because like his story is not believable. Okay, so Yungi, what did you think about this one?
I think the trial Stanley went through wasn't fair because first of all, no one actually listened to what Stanley said, and also he didn't have enough money to like hire a lawyer. And secondly, even though if we say that Stanley like he wanted to steal it, so even though if Stanley stole the shoes, like usually if we steal the shoes, we should like pay money.
Yeah.
We never like put someone to jail because they stole a shoe.
Oh, I know it. Like nobody was willing to like listen to Stanley carefully and like slowly. They were very quick to make like any kind of judgment on him, and then like sending somebody to jail just because of a pair of shoes. That's just like too severe of a punishment, right? Oh yes. Tua, what did you think about the trial?
I think Stanley's trial wasn't fair because Stanley said that the shoes fell into the sky, but they didn't trust it because shoes don't fall into the sky.
Oh yeah, so like nobody like believed him. I mean like if I were the judge, I wouldn't believe him either. How can shoes fall from the sky? But then there's no evidence that Stanley stole the shoes, right? So like you cannot like convict a person and send a person to jail based on no evidence. Yeah, that's right. Oh yes, so what did you think about this one?
I think Stanley was not fairly treated because Stanley's family didn't have much money to hire a lawyer. So I think he can be just a very he can be
like defended properly, like without a lawyer. So like it's pretty sad to see how like family's wealth can determine a person's fate. Stanley is pretty overweight, and like in an advanced country like in the US, are rich people fatter or poor people fatter? Rich people are fatter? Do you think actually poor people are fatter because they don't get the chance to eat fresh food, like fresh meat and fresh vegetables, and they don't get the chance to exercise or do physical activities or like enjoy sports? Like poor people, the kids from poor families, they tend to be overweight because they're stuck with the fast food options only. Yeah, and then like it affects like how he gets treated at school, and then he doesn't get a lawyer, and then he doesn't get the fair trial. So like how like coming from a like underprivileged background, like if a person comes from disadvantaged background, that affects his destiny and fate as well. That's pretty sad, right? Okay. Oh, so do you think like something like a curse is possible? Oh yes, Unjie. Yeah.
When someone is like particularly like unlucky because I think unluckiness came from our routine. So we can't blame our ancestors if you don't you eat snacks all day and you don't exercise and gain weight.
Oh yeah, I know. Like so, like some people in Stanley's family, they blame their bad luck on Elia, the pig silly great great grandfather. But then I think some of the misfortune comes from like the poor decisions they made for themselves. Like who decided to become an inventor, like dealing with old smelly shoes? Like his father decided to do that. I mean, like if he had taken up like another profession, another job, like he might have been like wealthier, like more prosperous. But then it was he who chose that job, right? And then like I mean, like being overweight and everything, like that is partially influenced by the family background. But Stanley can always like make up his mind and like start exercising, maybe like try running and whatnot. So like it's true that some of our misfortunes come from maybe like background and then like from like our family or ancestors, but then we can definitely have control over our life, right? Okay, so 좋아. 민재 한 번 안 했으니까 민재 먼저 해볼까? 민재, what did you think about this one?
I don't think there's a family curse
Uh-huh.
because everyone is the same when we are born. There's no bad looks and good looks either.
Oh, okay, so everyone is the same when they are born, the moment they're born. Do you guys agree with Minje's argument or not? Oh, yes, Chejawan, yeah.
Like Minjae, Stanley blames in the camp his great great grandfather Elia because it was also a misfortune to see a phenomenon of falling shoes and also sometimes some people think it is a supernatural natural phenomenon, but sometimes I also think it is not true, but also in otherwise I think it can be misfortune.
Ah, okay, like blaming your misfortune to supernatural forces like does not change anything. So like to make any kind of improvements in our lives, we need to do the things that we can control, like our habits, like we just said, our routines, and if we like make positive habits and then good habits, they are going to eventually bring us good luck, right? Yeah. So that's the way to improve our life. And Tua, what was your idea?
I don't think people are naturally unlucky because my parents
Uh-huh.
is lucky to meet my brother and me,
Uh-huh.
and I'm lucky to meet my family.
Uh-huh.
So everyone wrote it like that. So and also they like are choosing to Lotto.
Uh-huh.
So
Lotto?
people
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Dua said something really beautiful. So, like, she feels very lucky to meet her parents. Don't you guys feel that way as well? Or don't you feel really lucky to meet your parents, to be born as children of your parents? And then, like, some people, like, think very negatively. Oh, I'm really, like, so unlucky to be born in this family. I'm really, like, unhappy, like, stuck with this wife or like this husband or like stuck with this parents like this children like for people who think that way, I think bad luck is invited to those kind of people. But then like if you maintain a very positive mindset, oh, I'm really lucky like to have my parents, I love them so much. I mean your parents cannot be perfect, right? Like sometimes they make mistakes, but then if you like feel lucky, and then if you feel grateful, and then if you appreciate the things you have in your life, then you're gonna have smiles on your face. And then if you meet people with smiles on their faces, like how do you want to treat them?
Nice.
Yeah, nicely, right? So if you become positive and if you maintain that good attitude and positive attitude and smiles, good luck is invited to your life, because like people around you will like to treat you the same way, just the way you're smiling to other people, right? So our attitude definitely brings good luck. Yeah, and then like Tua, when you think that, oh, I love my parents so much, that's going to invite you a lot of good luck to your life. That's really amazing. Okay. Okay, so let's move on to the last one. So, uh, Elia really wanted to marry this girl, Myra. What was the reason? All together, everybody.
Because she was beautiful.
Oh, because she was really beautiful. But then there was like one problem that she had. What kind of problem did she have?
She was no.
She has no brain. She's empty-headed like a flower pot. She does not have the ability to like independently think, right? But then like at first, Elia was fine with that. Madame Zeroni gave him an advice. Hey, if you marry Myra, like she's not gonna take care of you. Like she's not going to stand by you when you're having difficulty. She's not caring, and then she's not give you love. She's not give love back to you. She only wants love and affection from you. It's going to be one-sided relationship. Are you gonna be fine with that? And Elia said, yes, I'm fine with that. Because she's beautiful. Yeah, and then he made a lot of sacrifices to gain her love. What kind of sacrifices did Elia make, everybody?
Elia, every day,
Oh,
to the peak of the mountain,
oh,
make him drink this drink.
oh yeah. Like for the, I don't know how many days it was, but then until her birthday, maybe like many days, maybe like close to 100 days, he carried the pig to the top of the mountain and then let the pig drink from the stream, sing it to the pig for many days, and then he made a lot of sacrifices and efforts, and finally it was the day of this girl's birthday, Myra's birthday. But why was Elia disappointed? Oh, yes, Unje, yes.
Myra didn't decide it for herself.
Oh.
And Myra
Mm.
always like get supported to others
Mm.
and not give support to the others.
Oh, okay. Like she did not like marrying somebody is the most important decision that you have to make in your life. But then, even for that very significant decision, she didn't have the ability to like independently think. And then, like she said, how was she gonna pick from between Igor and Elia?
Pigs
Yeah, pick it. Yeah. Hey, Igor, pick any number. Hey, Elia, pick any number. And then like the person who chooses the closest number to the number in my head, I'm gonna pick. The person, yeah, whatever, I'm gonna leave it to destiny, like fate or whatever, like randomness. And then Elia was deeply disappointed. So like from this moment on, like what can we learn about Elia's character? What can we learn about Elia not deciding to marry this girl? What can we? Oh yes, Chewan.
He is decided to choose another person to marry because Myra couldn't decide herself and just finding help for her families and others. So he thought he should find someone who can be back in him. So
Also, like, love cannot be like one-sided. Like any kind of relationship, it has to be like reciprocal. It has to be beneficial in both ways. But then he sensed that, oh, if I like start this relationship, then I'm always gonna be the giver, and then she's always gonna be the taker. And then I wouldn't that kind of relationship. I don't want to be taken advantage of for the rest of my life. And then Elia was very wise to stop that. At first, he was pretty immature. He was pretty young to think that, oh, like I'm gonna like just like enjoy the beauty and then like that's gonna be sufficient for me. But then that was like young Elia. But then I think like through the 100 days of a lot of suffering and a lot of sacrifices, he sort of matured. And then he became wiser to decide that, oh, I cannot be stuck with her for the rest of my life. I cannot live with this like a selfish girl for the rest of my life. Okay, so Elia grew up and Elia became wiser. Okay, yeah. So this is the discussion for today. And then 투부정사. We have passed the 개념 test, but then to solve the 객관식 test more accurately, we need to differentiate between different usages. 용법 구분해야 되니까 선생님이 지금 한번 설명 싹 해줄 테니까 설명한 다음에 바로 우리 다 같이 용법 시험 볼 거예요. 알겠죠? 좋아요. 그러면은 다 같이 용법 시험을 잘 통과를